A few weeks ago, my wife had a taste for watermelon. So because she had a taste for watermelon, we went to a farmer's market. We went to like a little produce stand, kind of a farmer's market or of sort, that had all types of fruit and vegetables. And so she asked me to pick out a watermelon for her. So there's this box full of watermelon, all shapes, all sizes. And I simply just picked the watermelon up out of the box, and I examined it by just looking it over, nothing real detailed, just looked at it to make sure that the color of the watermelon wasn't off and like there was some kind of rotted section or anything like that. And so that's all I really did. And then I got in line. As I proceeded to get in line, there was another lady that walked up to the same box that I had just left. And she asked one of the young ladies that worked at this particular produce stand, "Hey, will you help me pick out a good watermelon?" Now, at that time, I'm like, just grab a watermelon. But this young girl proceeds to go over. She picked up the watermelon and she began to thump it and listen. And as she was thumping and listening, I was looking like, well, what is that for? Why is she doing that? But it didn't deter me from getting out of the line and moving on to go try to have her do it for me. I just went along with the fact that I picked up a good watermelon, or at least I felt I had, and I moved on. When we got home and we cut the watermelon up and began to eat it, it tasted like water. There was no sweetness to it at all. It was not a good watermelon. What looked like a good watermelon was really not a good watermelon. And it led me back to the young lady thumping the watermelon, listening to it, trying to find a specific, I assume, sound to determine that it was a good watermelon. That, of course, led me to scripture. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 records this particular phrase. "Beware of these false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits." Man, it began to speak volumes to me. Like, in this box, there were multiple watermelon of all shapes and sizes. And I began to pick one out, and I didn't test it. I just picked it up and went with what I thought would be a good watermelon based on the outward appearance. How many of us have selected things or begin to do things based on the outward appearance, based on how it looks, how he or she looks on the outside, but not really testing to see if they are really quality product? Not really testing to see if they have some substance to them. Not really testing to see if this environment is conducive for who you are. There are many things that we just take at first glance and go with it, but God has given us the gifts and the abilities to be able to test things out. Pay attention, look at things, hear things, make sure that you're well aware of what's happening around you, because we'll know them by the fruit that they bear. We'll know them by their fruit. We'll know them by what they really present to us. And so I say this to us all, that we need to pay close attention to the things that we're involved in. We need to pay close attention to the people that we are around. We need to pay close attention to who we allow to be a part of our circle, because not everything that looks good is good for you. And so as you continue to live your life and as you continue to grow and to develop into who God calls you to be, make sure that you test the fruit. Make sure that you test the people who you are bringing into your area, who you are allowing to be a part of your life, to make sure that they really do fit who you are. Make sure that the endeavors that you march off into are really conducive and beneficial for your growth. Some things we just do because we feel like we should be doing them, but you need to test it to make sure that you're really growing in them, because there are a lot of false prophets. There are a lot of people out here that look good. There are a lot of environments and programs that look good, but you need to test them to make sure that they're beneficial for who God has called you to be. God bless you.